Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning.
All right, Rodney Gaines. Good morning.
How are you? Devontae.
All right, you guys have a seat. Okay, you guys are here for your second interview, correct?
Yes.
Help desk specialist. All right. Devontae, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Devontae Anderson. I'm a certified A+ from CompTIA. I'm interested in the entry-level IT position. I'm good at setting up computers, installing operating systems. I can help people, find their way around the operating system, navigate it. I have the ability to troubleshoot certain issues, various issues.
Okay. All right, thanks. And Jamel, tell me a little bit about yourself.
All right. I am a recent CompTIA A+ gainer, I guess, from DCU Tech program. But before that, I dealt with customer service for about 5 years, working for the Home Depot.
Okay.
And where I may lack technical experience, I have a great deal of customer service experience. But even during that time, I did have to put in special orders into the computer for certain customers, dealing with the computer to do cashiering. So I have I suppose, basic knowledge of computers and of operating them, but where my strength lies is really customer service.
Okay, excellent. And Jamel, tell me a little bit more about your training in the IT field.
Well, I have studied the A+ certification, and that deals a lot going into the actual machine that the computer is, dealing with the different components of a computer, the motherboard, the different components that make up the motherboard, and how all those things work together to make an entire cohesive system.
Okay, all right, great. And Devontae, tell me a little bit about your training in the IT field.
My training experience was very similar. We studied 2 different CompTIA A+ manuals. One was for hardware components. The other was for troubleshooting issues. It was a whole book dedicated to troubleshooting and a whole book dedicated to hardware components and whatnot.
Okay. Okay, can you give me some detailed information about your work experience in the IT field?
Well, I've had 2 internships that dealt directly with the IT industry. One was for the District Department of Transportation under Jose Collins, and the other was for DC Fire and EMS services. I've had another internship at the IRS, in which I've done desktop support.
Okay. All right. And Jamel, what about you? Some detail. I know you talked a little bit about some of your work experience, but anything else in reference to the IT field?
Previously to that, I'm not sure if you would. I'm gonna put it out there. Back when I was in high school, I interned for United States Housing HUD, U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development.
Yes.
For 3 summers, I was an intern, and I dealt a lot with Microsoft Office software, particularly with Excel. As far as actually repairing the computers and actually troubleshooting a machine, we didn't really get to do much of that, but we did go into deeper activities of the computer, like Microsoft Office components and all that.
Okay. All right. Excellent. All right, Jamel, why do you want to work here?
I would like to work here because this is an excellent opportunity to gain experience, particularly with not just with customer service, as I've already said that I've done, but customer service in a more professional environment, in an office space. The people, I think, they just operate under a different paradigm. It's the paradigm of a corporate setting, and I really want that. I feel like that would really advance my career.
Okay, all right. And Devontae, how about you? Why would you want to work here?
I believe that me working for you will be a mutual benefit to both parties. I believe I can contribute in any area that you need assistance with. My dedication, timely skills, time management specifically. You give me something to do and I do it. immediately follow up with you afterwards and continue on.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Let me ask you this. At this company, we like to think of ourselves as working as a team towards a common goal. So how do you feel about working in a team environment?
I'm always excited to work in team environments. I can operate in both team environments and in individual capacity. My IT training, we were primarily taught as a group, so we learned as a group, we operated as a group, and we tested individually, so I'm very capable of doing both.
Okay, great. And how about you, Jamel? I'm sorry. Again, we work in teams lie towards a common goal, so how do you feel about working in the team environment?
I'm very happy to work in a team environment. I often do enjoy working in teams. It's easy for me to get along with people, but as my peers already stated, we did have to test individually, and a lot of our studying for the CompTIA A+ was individual study. Yes, we did get into work groups and study groups and all that to better absorb the material when we all felt it was appropriate, but a lot of it was self-study.
Okay, all right. And can you give me an experience or an example when you had to deal with a difficult customer?
So as you can imagine, working in retail, there was a particular experience where a young lady came in. I was working at the service desk at the time, and she came in and she wanted to return something without a receipt. Now there are some things that we can return without a receipt, but there are other things like more pricey things like maybe leaf blowers or something that's over a certain price range. We just can't do it. So when I informed her of that, you know, she started calling me all kinds of curse words, all kinds of vulgar names and things, you know. But I understood what she was doing. I kept my composure because I didn't make up the rules about returning things, and you know, I can understand her frustration. It's this device is worth hundreds of dollars. It maybe just doesn't serve her anymore, and all because she doesn't have a receipt, she can't return it. So I understood the root of her anger, and I also understood that I wasn't the cause of her anger either. So there was no need for me to get upset. I was like, okay, ma'am, you know, so I just calmly handled it. I called the manager, and they, you know, they were able to solve the issue, whatever resolution that they made out. But the most important thing working in retail was that I gained the ability to be slow to anger and quick to forgive.
Okay, all right, great. And Vontae, how about you? Can you tell me about the time when you had to deal with a difficult customer?
In particular, I don't have any experience dealing with irate customers. I haven't been on that side of the fence. I have been one to inform my grandmother because she calls the IT help desks a lot. She's a former government employee, and while she's calling, she gets kind of irate. I do my best to calm her down and inform her that they're doing their best, that they can help her, their best.
Okay, great. Have you had to work in an environment when you dealt with confidential information?
Actually, yes, at the IRS. We dealt with information. They made us sign a form for confidentiality during our internship there, and that was actually this past summer.
Okay, all right. And how about you, Jamel?
Specifically when I worked at HUD, I remember us having to destroy these documents for like all these people's social security numbers on them, so I would definitely classify that as sensitive information, yes.
Okay, all right. And you've kind of alluded to this a little bit, Jamel, but describe to me what a top-notch customer service experience with you would be like.
A top-notch customer service experience with me, it would be one where you can come to me with an issue. To the best of my understanding, will I assist you with this issue. I'm not going to try and shove you off to somebody else. I'm not going to speak to you rudely. I'm going to treat you like family, as if you you know, I'm going to treat you as if I understand what it's like to be a human with a malfunction. So I'm going to do my absolute best to assist you in the matter, to make you feel comfortable in my presence and to actually take care of the problem as efficiently and as quickly as possible.
Okay, great. And Devontae, how about you? Top-notch customer service experience, what would that be like with you?
A customer would call. I would ask them to describe their problem. After they've described the problem, I'd identify what the specific issue is with their device. I would inform them that I'm going to be working with them to resolve the issue as quickly as possible. After eliminating the simplest resolutions to fix their problem, I would apply my knowledge of computers to either fix the problem, or if there was an issue in which I cannot resolve it, I'd immediately tell the customer that it is actually beyond my means at the moment to help them and escalate the issue to a tier 2 peer.
Okay, all right, great. Okay, I have another question for you guys. I want you to take a look at that scenario. Okay, so how would you prioritize these 3 situations from the most important to the least important, and then I want you to tell me why. So, first one is the CEO can't print a document. Second one is no one in the company can access the internet. And then the third scenario is video conference equipment in the conference room is not working. So you're at work, you have these 3 situations. Tell me most important, least important, and why. So we're going to start with you, Devontae.
Well, I believe that the most important would be that the CEO can't print a document, because we know that he or she is the head of the company. Because they're printing a document, they may have a meeting to go to, they might be doing a business proposal or a meeting with very important clients for the business. Secondly, I believe that the second most important piece of information would be that the video conference equipment in the conference room is not working, because in conference rooms, once again, there are meetings in which people discuss important business topics. So I believe those 2 will be the most important, and no one in the company can access the internet. That would be, not to say the least important, but that would be the last issue that I would personally work on.
Okay, all right, thank you. And Jamel, how about you?
The most pressing issue I see on this paper is the fact that nobody can access the internet. If the company, depending upon how the company makes its money and how it keeps its contacts, I'm going to go ahead and assume that a lot of their funds and a lot of their contacts have to do with the internet. So despite whether the CEO can't print a certain document or the video conference equipment in this room isn't working, if the main outlet for trade for this company is down, the whole company suffers. So the internet needs to be fixed before anything else is dealt with. Now, after that, I would say the video conference equipment in a conference room is not working, because with that internet, you can't make a conference anyway. So the internet needs to be fixed. Then whatever, it's more than just the CEO working and supporting this company. There are people beneath him who, if they were not able to do their jobs, the CEO wouldn't have a platform on which to stand. So I would say go ahead and get that conference equipment working, and then the CEO get his document printed. Depending on the level of importance of this document, that's why I was fighting with myself. It could be D, it could be F, but I'll go ahead and say that the CEO not being able to print a certain document, I feel like that he can find a way around that. But those other 2 things, the internet and the video conference equipment being down, those things need to be fixed immediately.
Okay, excellent. Okay. Well, that's it. All the questions that I have for you guys. So I'll start with you, Jamel. Do you have any questions for me?
What are going to be some of my day-to-day activities on this job?
Day-to-day activities will consist of primarily answering phones and also tickets as it relates to the employees here and their IT issues.
Okay.
So primarily you'll be on the phones. A lot of folks like to use the phone to call in their requests. So just make sure everybody's up and running, able to print, access the internet, and to be able to do their day-to-day business.
Okay. For my next question, are there going to be any opportunities for career advancement or training?
Yes, this is just entry level, but there are positions within our organization where you can advance. And so again, coming in entry level gives you the opportunity or an advantage over someone. For instance, if there's a position that you want to apply for, you have an advantage over somebody from the outside because you're familiar with our day-to-day operations.
All right. And for my final question, what is the biggest challenge this organization faces today?
The biggest challenge, I think with us is really just kind of keeping up with the different demands of IT. And that's why we're kind of hiring 2 more folks, because the workload has increased. And so we're a little behind when it comes to IT. So, you know, we may get new equipment, but it may take time to get it installed, replacing old equipment, so things like that. That's probably one of our biggest challenges, kind of keeping up with the demand. So we try to stay up to date with the latest technology, software, things of that nature.
Okay.
Okay? And Devontae, questions?
I only have one question. It's actually, what software do you use to produce your ticketing?
I couldn't tell you that. I'm not familiar with the exact software, but I will give you my contact information, and if you just kind of shoot me an email, I'll definitely get that information. But I have to talk to the tech guys in regards to that. But again, you know, we try to stay up with the latest software, hardware, things of that nature. So I'm sure what we have is pretty, you know, pretty robust, you know, pretty new, exciting, and all that. But I couldn't tell you exactly what it is. All right, is that it? All right, you guys, it's a pleasure meeting you.
All right, thank you.
All right, have a good day.